Imagine looking up into the sky and seeing day turn completely into night. Now imagine that happening 3 years in a row. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a truly unprecedented astronomical sequence heading straight for Spain. We're talking about a celestial phenomenon so incredibly rare, it's going to turn the Iberian Peninsula into the undisputed global capital of astronomy for 3 consecutive years. If you're fascinated by the cosmos, or honestly just love a spectacular natural event, you are in exactly the right place. Take a look at this number, 375. So, while total solar eclipses do happen roughly every 18 months somewhere on our planet, the universe is, well, it's a huge place. Statistically speaking, 375 years is the average time a specific, exact location on Earth has to wait just to see one total solar eclipse. Just one. I mean, think about that. Entire generations can live and die in a single city without ever experiencing the day turn into night. But Spain? Spain is completely defying the mathematical odds here. After a century-long eclipse drought on the mainland, they are about to host the incredibly rare Iberian Trio. We're talking 3 remarkable solar eclipses back-to-back in 2026, 2027, and 2028. It's honestly an absolute geometric marvel, and it's gearing up to trigger one of the largest astrotourism booms in modern European history. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll quickly cover the science of shadows. Second, the August 2026 sunset totality. Third, the August 2027 morning spectacle. Fourth, the January 2028 ring of fire. And finally, we'll wrap up with logistics and safe viewing. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the science of shadows. To truly appreciate these events, we've got to look at the mechanics. Every time the moon passes directly between the Earth and the sun, it casts a shadow. But this shadow isn't just one giant uniform dark circle. The darkest inner part of that shadow is called the umbra. And because the moon is just so much smaller than Earth, this umbra gets extremely narrow by the time it reaches our surface, usually only about 150 to 270 kilometers wide. Standing exactly inside that narrow racing shadow to experience the complete darkness of a total eclipse, that's what makes this so elusive and rare. And what we have here really brilliantly illustrates why these eclipses differ from one another. It basically all depends on the moon's elliptical orbit. When the moon is at its closest point to Earth, its perigee, it looks large enough to completely obscure the sun, giving us a total solar eclipse. But when it's at its farthest point, its apogee, it appears slightly smaller in the sky, so it can't cover the entire sun, and it leaves this brilliant blazing outer ring visible. We call that an annular solar eclipse. Keep this in mind because Spain is actually about to get a taste of both. Moving on to Section 2, August 2026, the sunset totality. Let's look at the very first major event. Definitely mark your calendars for August 12, 2026. The moon's path of totality is going to sweep right in from the Atlantic, plunging northern and eastern Spain into this otherworldly darkness. The shadow will race across historic cities, places like Leon, Bilbao, Zaragoza, Valencia, and even out to Palma in Mallorca. If you happen to be in these spots, you'll see the solar corona set against an abruptly darkened twilight sky, with planets like Venus and bright stars just suddenly popping into view. It's going to be wild. Now, the crucial point here is that this 2026 eclipse happens incredibly late in the day. Folks are already calling it a golden hour eclipse. As totality hits, the sun will be hovering literally just a few degrees above the western horizon. Visually, stunning. But logistically, yeah, it's pretty tricky. You absolutely must find a viewing location with a perfectly clear, unobstructed western horizon. I mean, a rogue mountain range, a tall apartment building, or even just a line of trees in the wrong direction could completely block the eclipse sun before totality even begins. All right, Section 3, August 2027, the morning spectacle. Just 1 year later, on August 2nd, 2027, the moon's shadow sweeps right back over the peninsula. But unlike that sunset event of 2026, the 2027 eclipse takes place mid-morning, with the sun high in the summer sky. This time, the path of totality skirts the extreme southern coast of Spain, turning day to night over the famous coastal spots of Andalusia. We're talking Cadiz, Malaga, Tarifa, and right across the Strait of Gibraltar. And because the sun is high up, around 38 degrees, you won't have to worry about those horizon-blocking issues we just talked about for 2026. But here is the absolute showstopper for 2027. Look at this number, 6 minutes and 23 seconds. That is the maximum duration of totality as this shadow moves across the Earth. For context, many eclipses last just a minute or two. Over 6 minutes is staggering.
It's actually only about a minute shy of the theoretical maximum for any solar eclipse on Earth, and get this, there won't be a longer one until the year 2114. In places like Tarifa, right at the southern tip of Spain, viewers will get over 4.5 minutes of total darkness. This makes it, by far, the most important European eclipse event of the decade.
Next up, Section 4, January 2028, the Ring of Fire. Remember those celestial mechanics we discussed earlier? Well, the Moon will be further away in its orbit for this one, so it won't fully cover the Sun. Instead, tracing a massive path from the southwest to the northeast, nearly half of the Spanish territory will witness a brilliant ring of fire against the late afternoon sky. Amazing cities like Seville, Cordoba, Valencia, and Tarragona will all be sitting right in the direct path of this mesmerizing annular eclipse.
And finally, Section 5, Logistics and Safe Viewing.
Now that we know the when and where, let's talk about actually getting there. With 3 massive celestial events arriving over 3 consecutive years, Spain is bracing for a truly unprecedented astrotourism boom. We're talking international scientists, dedicated eclipse chasers, photographers, and just eager travelers flooding the country. This is going to create some incredible economic opportunities for the smaller towns inside the paths, but, and it's a big but, it also means intense demand for hotels, transport, guides, and viewing sites.
If we compare these 3 events, every single one has its own unique logistical hurdles. For 2026, it's that low-altitude horizon block risk we mentioned. There's also the massive traffic gridlock anticipated around major cities. Because giants like Madrid and Barcelona are just outside the path of totality for 2026, you're going to have millions of people jumping on the highways at the exact same time to drive into the path. So planning your route and getting to your spot very, very early is going to be absolutely essential.
But here's the good news, and really why Spain is uniquely equipped to handle this. The country has incredible transport infrastructure, including extensive high-speed rail networks. It boasts a highly reliable, relatively clear sky summer climate, which, let's face it, is crucial for actually seeing the eclipse. Plus, it offers spectacularly diverse viewing environments. You've got vast rural plains, beaches, mountains, islands, and historic cities. It really is the perfect stage for this cosmic play.
Okay, before you start packing those bags, we need to cover the most important thing of all, your safety. You must, and I mean must, secure ISO 1231 2-2 compliant eclipse glasses. Ordinary sunglasses, no matter how dark they are absolutely not safe and they will permanently damage your eyes. You also need proper solar filters for any cameras, telescopes, or binoculars you bring. You can only look at the sun with the naked eye during the very brief minutes of complete totality. And remember, during the 2028 annular eclipse, the sun is never fully covered, so your eclipse glasses remain absolutely necessary throughout that entire event.
So, what does this all mean? Spain's upcoming eclipse era is an unbelievably rare convergence of perfect celestial geometry, favorable geography and climate, and incredible accessibility. To have 3 distinct, major solar eclipses in a single, highly accessible country in just 3 years, it's just an absolute gift from the cosmos. As the saying goes, for Europe's eclipse hunters, all roads now lead to Spain. So, the only question left to answer is, which of the 3 events will you be traveling to see? Keep looking up and definitely start planning now.